So we have some very special guests, or some very unique guests in the audience. If you are...
Aside from all of them.
Aside from all of you guys who are more exciting, these are like special as in they need some help. If you're part of the crew of Supernatural, please raise your hand. Anybody? Where are you?
I think they're all...
Oh, there we are. Yeah, all right.
Not to point fingers. We had a promise. Hey, you made it!
Yeah! We had a promise we wouldn't sell them out, but we did. Welcome newbies. Welcome oldies.
Welcome Supernatural Crew. Because I'm not sure there's any other place you'd rather be on a Sunday afternoon than listening to these two guys talk on stage. A different kind of stage, but a stage.
If y'all are late tomorrow, it's my job.
Titcher's not over there, is he? Is Matty over there pitching? Okay, well I was over at Mr. Brad Creaser's house yesterday afternoon, who was right there, Bradley. Go ahead and raise your hand. Because why did we have people over there yesterday? Because he's turning 50.
I gotta dance for that. I gotta dance.
Oh yeah, this is, for those of you who don't know, our 8-camera operator, Brad Creaser, this is the extent of his dancing repertoire.
I can see his shade.
You know what the problem is that was actually, there was too much groove and beat going on there. I mean,
give it to us again.
Rhythm.
Yeah, give it to us again. We gotta go.
Okay, give us an SP. Love you, Brad. Not that we ever make fun of Brad, but
Brad, everybody on set loves Brad as a brother, so we have to bring him down to earth every now and again because he has too much love. Love you, Brad.
Anyway, sorry. What was your question? Yeah, what was your question?
Last Christmas you tweeted a hilarious picture of the three of you all dressed up for Christmas. And someone said that they might have lost a bet to have to dress up as Santa and Mrs. Claus. Was there a bet, and what was the reason for that?
The wardrobe just put in our trailers like, you're wearing this. Like, all right. They waited until we, it was like it was the final day of shooting before we broke for our 2.5-week holiday. And there's, for those who don't know, there's a fairly big holiday party that takes place on the set of Supernatural the last day of filming before we break. It's turned into this thing. People come from other shows. There is a massive, not an auction, a giveaway, a raffle. Thank you. There's a massive raffle that takes place. There's tons of money collected, goes to charity. It's a really cool thing. Well, people might start celebrating a little early in the day. So wardrobe just waited until we had started celebrating. And then they decided to put these outfits in our trailer and didn't say a word of it. So
we were primed to make a bad decision.
Yeah, they just waited until we were just right. Now, of course they'll put this on now. And we did. And I don't know why, and then next thing you know, I walk into the hair and makeup trailer, Jared's getting makeup put on his face, and I'm like, oh wow, we're really going for it, aren't we? And then we all had a great time, and everybody has a good time, and Jared and Misha and I host the raffle, and there's music playing, and it's just a really fun time, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Makes for a great Christmas card.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thanks a lot.
That party, actually, I'll tell you, I'm gonna give them a little insight. Yeah, why not? Well, they're all friends, they're not gonna tell people.
Be careful, Jesse.
This is my impersonation of a Twitter person.
impression of an Italian Twitter person.
Go ahead. Our location supervisor has a giant case. It looks like an assassin's toolkit, like a giant sniper rifle would go in it. It's aluminum case in which he opens it up. This big. And it's filled with tequila, the finest tequila, which he opens up at the wrap party. He has these shot glasses, which are about 10 shots.
By the front door, so it's like before you even got to the coat check.
It's like coat check. And at one point, evidently, one of the we were at this bar downtown, and one of the PAs working on the show tried to pick up a newspaper vending machine and throw it through the front windows of the bar.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, the tequila worked.
Did I say you?
There's a lot of stuff like that happening.
There's a lot of stuff. Like that. I had one of our day calls, which are crew people that kind of come in here and there when we're running low or we need some extra hands on set. And I'd seen this guy around. He'd been there a few times. He wasn't part of the normal crew that are there every day. He kind of comes in every now and again. The big, tall, black guy with the dreads. Yeah. So he's at the rep party, and he comes up, and he's got like this big, like glass of something, and he's like, hey man, hey, you gotta try this. It's so good. It's so good. And I'm like, oh, what was your name again? And he's like, I'm Ryan. I'm like, you gotta try this. It's so good. It's so good. And then he hasn't really looked at me yet. And I'm like, you know what, Ryan, I'm good. But thanks for all your hard work this season, And he's like, what? And he lifts his hat a little bit, he goes, oh, it's you. Just like mortified. But the best part was one of our camera assistants, who is there every day, who is, kind of family to us.
Is this the 7-Eleven?
No.
Okay.
Was standing right there and saw that whole thing happen. And so the next day he was just like, oh, it's you. You got a kick out of that. Yeah, there was
One of the dolly operators across I was at the 7-Eleven, like 2 o'clock in the morning, getting some water, heading home. And the bar was on one corner of an intersection. 7-Eleven is on the corner right across the street. I was coming out of the 7-Eleven and the dolly.
So you would walk out of the bar, made a right,
Across
the street, and into the 7-Eleven.
I'm coming out of the 7-Eleven and I see Gilmore hopping out of a cab, paying the taxi driver, having driven across the street.
no longer than from this wall to this wall.
He took a cab about 30 feet, paid the taxi driver left. That was the ride he needed.
So this is all I can think of that happened. He walked out of the bar, he was like, I needed some water. And he saw a taxi and he's like, take me to the nearest 7-Eleven. And the taxi driver drove 40 feet, stopped, we're here, sir. Okay, thanks, here you go.
That'll be $100.
And the greatest thing about that is one of the other infamous rap parties was at another place, and the same guy was out on the patio, drunk again, and I was like, "Hey Gilmore, what's up, man?" He's like, This is awesome. This is like my neighborhood place, man. I come here all the time." I'm like, "Really? You live around here?" He's like, "Yeah, see that white building right up? That's where I live. I could have walked here." And I'm like, "Could've? Did you not?" "No. But it's right there. I could have walked." So apparently he doesn't walk short distances.
and that solidified it was the 7-Eleven cab trip. There you go. There's some stories for you.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you both guys.
Hi.
Hello. First off, I just want to say you all are so beautiful. And my question is, what is your favorite memory from working on set of Supernatural?
We don't. Right, we must have one.
I can say the first thing that popped into my head.
Go for it.
No, it's never normally a good idea.
That's always a good idea.
It was just very early on, and it was the first time I was speaking, and the whole crew were gathered, and I was doing the rehearsal bit where I say, killing demons always makes me hungry. And I decided to go really Scottish on it. I just thought, just be brave, just be a fanny. That's my best Scottish phrase.
She's British.
Just don't care if you're in Egypt or in Egypt. Just do it. And there was silence in the room because it was Bob Singer directing, and everyone's very respectful. There's a lot of people. Killing demons always makes me hungry. And the crew went, "Raw!" and they laughed, and I just thought, oh God, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Just yeah. And I always look to the crew when I'm doing over the top stuff. And if they're happy with it, then yeah, you're not going to be, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, the crew is really telling. At the beginning, it's always a little intimidating, especially when you go into a group that's known each other for so long, and you're, the new person. This first episode, it was what was that scene? It was a scene we're in the hospital, and I just meet Castiel for the first time, and things are blowing up all around me. And I scream out, like, what's happening? And I kind of went a little crazy with it. So after the first take, like...
Do it.
My voice is gone. Basically, yeah, everything's on. I'm like, what's happening? And I, like, I scream it out at the top of my lungs. And then it's like, cut, and there's, like, dead silence. I'm like, oh, did I do it wrong? And then there's, like, just like a beat. And then the entire crew just bursts out laughing. And I'm like, should I do it differently? and no, it was like a really good moment. They're like, no, like, do exactly that. But it's just that uncertainty, just that moment, like, killed me for a second. I'm like, oh my God, did I totally mess up? It's like my first week. But
yeah,
it was sorry.
You do it. Okay. I like to read it out.
It was so long ago. It was like 3 years ago. Let's see.
Muscle memory.
Muscle memory.
Flawless, absolutely.
What's happening? Spazzing out a little bit. Sorry, that was really loud. Forgot I'm holding a mic.
I totally see why you got the job.
They admire commitment on that show. Even if you're committed in the wrong direction,
even if you're committed,
exactly, or have been, they definitely are supportive of your willingness to go there.
Yeah, very much so. A great crew to work with. So it's after that first week, I just realized I'm like, oh, this is such a safe environment to just play around. Yeah, great group of people to work with for sure.
Hi. What's been the best part of working on Supernatural?
Your shirt.
Really tough. Best part.
I totally, because I'm old and I've been doing this for a while, and we're kind of itinerant. Like, somebody like me, I go show to show to show, I bounce around, I do a week here, I do a week there, The best part is purely emotional for me, is when I feel like when I go home. When I go up to Supernatural, I feel like I'm going home. It really fucking does. It feels like I'm going home, and it's my birthday. So it's just pure emotionally wonderful. Yeah, it's just that.
It's the kind of job that you get and it makes you happy. You're an actor. It's like, this is why I did it. I mean, look at this con. Like, not every job has bands like this. It's really that is up there on the list. But there's not even the best thing, because just from hair and makeup to craft services to Jared Benson and Nisha, everything has been great. But I think the cons are pretty cool. That's one thing that's never happened. So you can get sets, but I've never met so many good people. Yeah.
I will just keep telling myself that.
So, aside from Brad, we have many others that have been with us for a long time, and are really invested in these characters in this show. And what's really cool, and I said this years ago, and I can still say it today, which is even cooler. I see the guy who does the lighting, the guy who cleans the trash bins, the guy who does the grunt work and really the thankless jobs of production. And in my opinion, those are the real unsung heroes. In fact, every Friday we have a $5 Friday. Don't tell the IRS this or Warner Brothers. We have a $5 Friday. Everybody pitches in $5. They put their name on a piece of paper, and at the end of the night, somebody draws a piece of paper. They won the lottery. They won the $5 Friday. And it could be a couple $100. It could be a couple $1,000. Depends on how much people are, getting into it that day. And I will say that Jared and I, we may have missed a few Fridays, but usually we donate. We like to call it splashing in the pot. And we'll drop in a 50 or $100, and we'll just write the production assistants. And it's so if they win, then they get the pot. So it's like those are really the thankless heroes. But what I was getting to is they're still reading the scripts. Like I'll look around and I'll see those guys reading the scripts. They don't have to do that. Like they're there collecting a paycheck. They don't need to do that, but they care about this show. And it goes all the way down to those guys, and that's cool to me. They care about the show, and so does the rest of the crew. When I see the camera operators, sitting in between takes, reading scripts, and they care about the show. So know that it is in good hands, and people that work on the show respect the show and love what they do, and I think it shows. Which is one of the reasons why I think you're standing here asking the question. What was the question? I was just kidding, I'm done. No, I'm kidding. You're sweet, and I like your shirt. Thank you.